Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Women Empowered event, our fundraising event to raise money for the Victoria Women's Transition House. And we are so excited today because our next guest is Chantelle, who is the owner of Wild and Free. So I had the pleasure of meeting Chantelle only a few short months ago. And when I met her, there was this connection. And then I found out that she was the owner of Wild and Free Organics. And I was just blown away. Our mutual friend had it on her um, mantle, and I went and smelled it, and it was beautiful scents. This one scent was beautiful. But then after I started to get to know Chantelle, I'm getting verklempt, but not only was I so impressed with the product line, but it was her story that really impressed me. Her vulnerability, your vulnerability, Chantel, everything about your story. It was just so beautiful. It's such an incredible story. And I thought that the world needed to hear this. Women, men, everyone needed to know how incredible you are, how amazing your company is, to know your story. Uh, I have the pleasure of being friends with Chantel, and I also carry her products in the spa. And one of the things that I really loved about it is not only do I carry Wild and Free Organics, but she made a private signature label. She'll explain all that in a little bit with my Emerald E so that people can take Emerald home, but it's also within her company. So I have her products, but then also the Emerald. And it's quite beautiful to have a company that not only has created their own business, but really celebrates other people's businesses and doesn't just say, nope, this is my company. They put my label on her stuff, and it's just beautiful. And I think that's pretty much the beauty of this weekend event. It's about community, it's about sharing the love, it's about promoting incredible people in business. And I would like everyone to meet Chantelle. Hello, thank you for coming.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you for involving me in this. I'm very excited and honored to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. And I can see that you're in the swing of Christmas. Your place looks beautiful.
Thank you. We are Christmas full force here.
I know there's not much Christmas behind me, but we're in the spa right now. We're practicing proper social distancing etiquette. There's nobody in the room with me, which is why I'm not wearing a mask. And Chantel, where are you coming from?
I'm on my couch.
Oh, lovely. So you're in your home.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Where, you don't need to wear a mask and all safe.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks really great. I love the let it snow sledding.
Thank you.
That's great. And then the little Santa.
Oh yeah, we're always adding stuff I feel like it's every week we're getting more.
Did you decorate early like a lot of people this year, or?
And we always decorate kind of early, but our tree came, we always get a real one. And this
Oh,
year,
nice.
all the stores got them in earlier, which was a nice surprise. So we got that
Nice.
a couple days ago. And I just love the Christmas lights. It literally brings me joy. So
I love that. Yeah, a lot of people started early because of just the circumstance. Everyone's home, so it's really happy. And I see that there's your candle in the background.
my very favorite. The cinnamon sugar is
Oh,
my favorite smell. So that's usually what we have when it's
such
my.
a such a perfect Christmas scent too. Hey, the cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, I love it.
That
It
one.
reminds me of like buttery cinnamon sugar toast. That's how I always describe it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it smells so good. Well, I can't smell it, but I
Yeah,
in the spot so I can smell
yeah.
it when I want. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So this is just a fun coffee chat. So everyone watching, grab a tea, pull up a seat. We're going to get to know Chantelle from Wild and Free Organics. So I have a few questions for you. One of them is, how did you start Wild and Free? What's the story? What's your why?
It's very. I don't want to say random, but it's unique. So my husband was permanently disabled in an accident, and he's fully mobile but lives with chronic pain. So he would take our two oldest daughters for walks when our son was born. And there's beehives across the street from our house, and he just fell in love. He was YouTubing bees, like Googling them all the time. It was bees. So we saved for him to do the beekeeping course, and became like a bee master, is what they're called. So after he started some hives of our own, we had so much extra wax, and I like to be creative. So I was like, instead of throwing it out, why don't I make lip balms for family and friends? So I did that, gave some to our family and friends, and they're like, you should sell these. So I actually went to the Victoria Public Market and set up a table one day and sold out. And then I did it again and again. And then that was in June of 2015. And then I decided in the following October to try candles. So I actually went to Michael's and got some product. But when I got home, I started Googling what the ingredients were, and I found out how toxic they were. So I was like, that's not going to work. I threw it out. And I ordered a small bag of pure soy dermatology tested wax and a little bit of oil. So I started making candles, and when I started bringing those down to the Victoria Public Market, I was selling out within the first few hours, and that's how it really started. And it just has grown from that. And for me personally, it's really important that my family's involved. So they're involved, like whether they've come to markets when I used to do them or selecting scents themselves. That's how we've always started.
That's amazing. What an amazing story to bring, something that could have been so tragic to something so beautiful, and to be able to share. And, you said family. It sounds like family plays a big role in your business. What does family, what does that mean to you and your business? And, what you said, mentioned your family a little bit. What is it that they're involved with? What does family mean to you with your business?
Personally, family is everything. I grew up in the foster care system, and so all I ever dreamed of was having a family. So now that I have them, they are the center of my world. And so for me to be able to, chokes me up a little bit, but for me to be able to bring them along with everything, it's just like, that's the reason why I work so hard. Like I would put them to bed at 6:30 and I'd pour candles till 2 a.m. and then get back up to go to a market at 9 a.m. and be there for 12 hours. But they deserve better, So it's just, they're my driving force. We have my Truly Canadian candle, has my very favorite decoration. It's maple. And so our kids, we all go for fall walks and we all collect maple leaves together. We come home, we press them in their storybooks, and then that's what we decorate the candle for. So those moments are so special to me because it's for the company, but those are creating memories that we're all going to have forever.
That's so beautiful. So you just mentioned the maple leaf, and the Truly Canadian, like you said, it has a little maple leaf, and it's like a cute little maple leaf. And it sounds like that inspiration came from your family. Um, one of the emerald candle is beautiful, and you put a little like a little green like speck. It's obviously not emerald. I love when you were like, so I like to put little things in it. We could do an emerald. I'm gonna and source like glass, but and I even was like, well, if we put an emerald in, like, how much would that cost? And, and you're like, that would be very expensive. I don't know if your clientele would like spend whatever much. And it was so funny. And I was like, oh, but then when I look at the candle with the emerald, it was just a little added touch. So with the Truly Canadian, it sounds like it goes back to family, and your family inspired you on that. So that's really beautiful. What about the other scents that you have? And if you want to tell us a little bit more about the Truly Canadian.
Yeah, so it's really what changed it for us. The Truly Canadian candle, just as soon as I released that, I got into multiple different places. People have bought them from literally all over the world, which is so, when I sit back every once in a while and I think about where we started from the 5 pounds of wax and the 10 milliliters of oil to the hundreds of pounds that I order at a time now, it's just, it gives me goosebumps because it doesn't seem real almost, to think that something my family and I've created has been given as gifts of birthdays or weddings. Like it's very surreal, I feel. And our family, so what I do is they've each selected their own scents that they haven't been released yet, but they're coming soon. And so each of the kids and my husband and I sat down with our oils and created our own blends. So those will be coming out. But yeah, they have input on every single scent that I do. So
yeah, it's just so beautiful. You mentioned you got goosebumps, and I just have goosebumps now hearing that. that your children and your husband are your driving force. It sounds to me like they are your goal. They are the reason why you do this. And you mentioned that you were in foster care and how huge family is. And then I also recall when we first met, and you were just this really incredible person. I would never have known. You really just exuded confidence and beauty, and you were so sweet. But when you just said to me, you just said to the viewers and everybody, you have all around truly Canadians around the world. I think that's what's a beautiful part of you, is that you're very humble about it. When you came to the spa and you shared your story, and you just now, like, tears in my eyes, it's just really beautiful. How has your past, being in foster care, if you want to bring it up, how has that made you who you are today? Like, what have you learned from that? And if people are watching right now, it's a hard time. People are feeling lonely and isolated. One of the reasons why we're doing this event is to connect with people. What can you take from your past and bring to now and share with other people? Like, what do you tell your kids? And can you touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm not ashamed of where I came from. There was never, I was in foster care and in the situation I was not because of my own choices. And I can understand that now. But it is lonely. It is a very isolating feeling growing up. And I just always wanted to feel that unconditional love. And now I have it. And so for me, with my family, like showing them that no matter what, if you work hard and you believe in yourself, which took a long time for me to feel, anything is possible. Like I have huge dreams for Wild and Free, and it's not for my own satisfaction, but it's just like I want to change my family's life and everybody else. Like I've started the process to create a nonprofit for foster children, because when you age out, you literally just get a box and have a good life type of thing, and that's so overwhelming. And so if we can build something that would help ease that gap, I would be honored to be a part of it. So it's just really my dreams of creating a better world. It sounds kind of silly, but it's just that's my dream.
No, I don't think it sounds silly. I think it sounds beautiful. And it's a, you know, I'm getting very emotional to hearing your story, as I'm sure everyone at home is too, just to see the resilience, the determination, the drive that you have. And I think that's what people need right now, is to hear. And this is why I really wanted you to share your story. And what really captivated me was, a lot of people can, sometimes there's people that they take things and they can't go on, and they need somebody like you to share their experience, to know, like, if Chantelle can do it, I can do it. And I think that's what we really need right now. So you have this beautiful company and you have beautiful sense, and it's all about family. But I think that's what I wanted everyone to hear, is just how you just are so driven, and you're driven by family. And that's what we all need right now, is just to see somebody just going out there and getting it, and not stopping, and just I find that really inspiring. And I've heard your story before, and I'm hearing it now, and it's overwhelming. It's filling my heart with so much love, because you're right. At the end of the day, like, family means a lot, and family doesn't necessarily have to mean children or a partner. It can be the community,
Absolutely.
like my
For the
business.
and that you're accepted and loved for who you are, and not
Exactly.
past your, whatever the case may be. It's just that you're loved for the person that you are, and
So beautiful.
important. So,
Yeah, and I even saw that, when we first met, we met at a barbecue, pre all of this, and just the friend we met, but the mutual friend we met, like, she's somebody that you're really close with, and you grew up together like a sister. And I think right now too, family is so important, and family is who you need it to be, to help. And it's beautiful that you have a family that is really driving you, like you said, to make the new sense. That is really exciting to for that. And I mean, how amazing, like, growing up, I would have loved a candle that named after me, or, like something I sent it. And that's what this fundraiser is about. It's about empowering women and children. It's about raising awareness against domestic violence, and it's about the children. And children, they don't have the same chance when they're young. So I think it is absolutely beautiful that you are empowering your children, and you're giving them a voice and a say. And you, like you said, you're not embarrassed of where you came from, because it's teaching your children and the community where we can go and how we can better ourselves. And it's just beautiful.
Thank you. That's a lot. A lot. So
I think you're so great. It's
oh,
amazing.
it's so hard for me to take a compliment. That's very sweet.
Well, it's something to learn. That's actually something I was just like reading about. Like, when you get a compliment, just
Yeah.
say thank you. And somebody complimented my dress, and I was like, oh, I got it at the Bay and it was on sale, and
Yeah.
and they were like, just say thank you. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I practice that and I'll say it in my head, but then I still am like, okay, just
Well,
accept.
you deserve compliment. You deserve praise. I mean, what you're doing, even just talking about that foundation, that's incredible. For you to be a part of this, to share your story, to bring awareness to your community, to the community about this, it's incredible. So thank you for being a part of this. It's amazing.
I'm so honored.
And when you do your foundation and all that, I want to be a part of that. I think
I love that.
more people to raise awareness, the better. And so, tell me more about your family. What is it that you do to keep your spirits high, for your mental health, for the mental health of your children? Right now, there's a lot of uh, stats about children and mental health with
Mhm.
the pandemic. So, I have 3 children, and I try and stay really happy and bubbly and try and explain things to them, but keep up. But what do you do for your kids to keep them positive, and what do you do for your mental health together?
We do. We are really big into baking. We bake a lot. They like recipe days where we play like nailed it, and they will just take it out of the cupboard and they will mix everything that they think will be good together, and I have to taste it. And
Does it taste good?
no, sometimes it's edible, but like you don't get back the second bite. But they try hard. Like there's been a few really good, things come out of it. But for the most part, especially my younger two, they're 7 and 5. It's just like, melted chocolate and pop rocks and like gummy. So then they bake it. But there's never a winner because I can't pick a winner between my
Oh,
kids.
that's so true. Hey, it's like, I like this one for this and
Yeah,
this one for that.
yeah. Like it's
So,
rules.
yeah, it sounds like baking is like a big mental health. Uh, really, is there anything else you do with your kids?
We're very family oriented. So like our kids will be like, let's go and do this and do that. They're like, we just want to stay home and just have the family time. So we do crafts. We've just really gotten into board games. My older daughter was into them, but our younger two now, they don't cry if they don't win and the rules. So that's been really that's been enjoyable a lot. And then puzzles. We just took up puzzles. Got our first 1,000 piece. So we're going to do that together. But just honestly, our time together is really what it makes us all comfortable, like our kids are happy to be home with the family. They don't really feel like they need to be out, parks and all that stuff. They miss their friends, of course, but
Yeah, and that's a really nice thing to share, because yeah, I think a lot of times we think we need to take our kids out and go to the park and go to all these things, but to go back into home and to bring it back inward can be just as much fun. I think we just need to be more creative of what we do. And I love, like, you mentioned you're a perfectionist, which I think is that's, I think, a huge um, trait of a business owner, right? Like, everything has to be perfect. That's why your products are perfect. It's why everything is great. But I'm actually shocked to hear that you let your kids play with Pop Rocks and chocolate because I'd be like, I'm the kind of person I'd be like, yeah, go to town in the kitchen. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, what are we doing? Like that shows a lot of, what's
Yeah,
the word for it?
always try to think of fun things with them, and they just love it. They love baking shows, they love baking, and that's my passion. I cannot cook. Maybe like 3 meals I can cook decently, but other than that, I'm a baker. So
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, it explains you being a perfectionist. I feel that that is very, it's very scientific. Things need to be perfect or else you have like, or I don't bake, so I don't know.
I love it. I'll bake anytime for you. You just tell me what you want.
Oh, I love it. Now tell me, you mentioned your husband, and I think that's a really incredible story. How is he doing now, and what's his response to all this? Did he ever think of this?
I don't think so. He's always been a believer in me, but I don't think that either of us, well, I don't know. I've always had very big dreams from the get-go. But I didn't really share them with anybody at first. Like I just would do market after market. And then, but yeah, he's always supportive of that. Like he does all of our packing of everything. He's way more like Tetris. Everything's perfect and organized. He organizes all of our intakes and all that stuff. So he's a huge help in that aspect. And he's not someone that lets his pain get in the way. Like he will, if something needs to be done for our family or for the business, he just does it. So yeah, I think we're a good team, what
Yeah,
he can't do or doesn't do, I do, and vice versa. So
it really is truly inspirational to have the the past you have, and then to, like you said, have these hopes and dreams and visualize it, and then it came to fruition with your children, with your partner who believes in you and supports you and is there. It's quite beautiful. And I love again that it's a family business. I think that is just so gorgeous. I love that. Your products are incredible. And you mentioned one of your favorite products is the Truly Canadian, and also the candle behind you, the cinnamon spice.
the cinnamon sugar is my
Sorry, cinnamon sugar,
yeah yeah
cinnamon sugar.
yeah.
Okay, yes. Now, are those your two favorites, or do you have any other products?
The Truly Canadian isn't a big favorite of mine. I love the decoration the most.
Oh, okay.
It floats just below the fire line and then it disappears when you blow the candle out and reappears. Cinnamon sugar is my very favorite. I also love the lemongrass verbena. That one's really good. But we just came out with reed diffusers and the room and linen sprays, which are also really popular. So yeah, the cinnamon sugar though is my definite go-to, or the lavender
So
spray at bedtime.
now, what would you say? Remind us, was your very first like candle scent? You said it was the lip balms. Was your cinnamon sugar the first scent you created?
Wasn't my very first was lavender orange. Is
Okay.
one of my most popular sold scents across the board. Um, yeah, so that was my very first, and then I had vanilla tangerine, and then it came the Truly Canadian was third.
Love it. And you said that you have now reed diffusers. What are some of the products that you have? And we're talking so much about your products. You can get them here at Emerald, but share with us. It's Christmas coming up. What's a great gift? Tell everyone what your products are, and what would be a great gift right now and where to find it. I'm in Victoria. But there's people now, they're virtual, they don't want to go too far, they don't want to come here if they live somewhere farther. Where can people get your products? So explain what you have and what's the best and what I want and where do I go?
Yeah, so for me, like quality is extremely important. All of our oils are like body safe, certified paraffin and paraffin and phthalate free. There's no lead, petroleum. So I just use a dermatology tested soy with a perfume grade oil, and then organic wooden wick. So that's like, I love our candles because the crackle of the wood, and they burn completely clear, which I think is really neat. So those are probably my favorite product, but we do gift sets with like the candles, a room and linen spray, and the reed diffusers. The reed diffusers are not online yet because we just released them to our wholesale accounts first, and then they'll be. But you have the reed diffusers that
Yeah, I
yeah,
do.
you have those.
Yeah.
The holiday scents too. You have. So yeah, and then our lip balm, and we do soap, and yeah, those would be our main products. And we're available with you. We are in all London Drugs in Victoria.
Oh,
Bear
wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so Bear Mountain, the spa, as well as the coffee shop up there, and the Fairmont. But again, and also online. So um,
Wow, that's really great. Like, so there's a place in Langford, there's a place like, well, Bear Mountain, Langford, um, Victoria, but London Drugs, that's really amazing. That must feel really good. Hey,
yeah, it's
good
pretty.
for you.
Thank
Amazing that all your dreams and all your visions came true, and that it's not stopping either. Like, you still want to go to the moon, and it feels incredible to be in partnership with someone as inspiring and just with such determination. And I think it's just incredible to hear your story. Is there anything else you want to share with everybody watching? Any sort of words of encouragement right now? There's some people might be like feeling low, they might need a little pick me up. Is there anything that you can share with them to help them out right now?
I would say that you're definitely not alone. Like, I am always happy to help. There's all my contact information is on my website, my social medias. Like, just not wanting people to feel alone any time of the year, but right now especially, it's hard, being isolated, and then being the holidays. I feel it just, you know enhances any feelings that we would have had as is. And also that what you've done is so important, and we're going to donate a gift for anybody who donates. They'll be eligible to win. So
Oh,
amount,
nice.
any amount makes a difference. So whether it's $5 or $50, whatever it is, if you're able to give back, and hopefully you can win one of our products.
Oh, that's so sweet. So yeah, Chantelle, so anybody who donates, whether it's $1 to $1,000,000, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Gets eligible to win one of your beautiful candles. Do you know what scent yet, or can they pick? Sounds like everybody might want the cinnamon spice.
If they want to
Cinnamon
pick,
sugar. Yeah,
cinnamon.
what do we keep saying
Yeah.
that?
Sounds good though. Um, no, they can. I'm happy if they want to pick. Yeah, they can just go online or contact me directly, or you, and get a list of all of our scents, and
Yes. Yeah, no, you have so many incredible scents. And I think a good thing to, now where people know where to go, they can come in. COVID policies are in place everywhere now, masks, hand sanitizer, but, reach out to you or to where the retailers are, and they can go in and smell for themselves. Because I know for me, um, I'm not a huge candle person. I'm more of like the reed diffuser. That's actually what the first product I ever smelled is. And we have it in our bathroom at the spa, and it's just gorgeous. But I think it's important to know that you can come to the spa and smell it, or they can go to other places. Is that available at some of your other retailers? Just
yeah, they all have displays on, like samples on display for you to smell. As of right now, if the policies change within Canada, they may have to remove them again, because I know at the beginning of everything they did take them off the shelves, but they are back now. So
Yeah, and it's right now with everything that's going on, one of the most important thing is to like time out and do something for yourself. And something that was shared with me for time is like, take 5 minutes, light a candle, and just stare at the candle for 5 minutes.
love
I'm
them.
laughing because like, what parent has 5 minutes? But it was about making that a priority, and she used the candle as a way to just be with yourself, is because you are taking the candle with intention, you're lighting it, you're watching it crackle. You mentioned the wood is it burns free, so that's a really good one to watch. Especially a lot of candles have stuff in it that maybe you don't want to breathe, so it's nice to know your candle is clean. And that was one of the things. So even if, or a bath, or just having a candle, or the reed diffuser, but the candle is a really quite a beautiful thing to take time out for yourself. So tell me just one more thing before we get to the rapid fire. Tell me about the wick, because that's I found that really interesting.
Yeah, so it's organic wood, typically from fruit trees, but it comes from a variety, and it actually sucks the wax up, and that's how the flame stays lit. So if you purchase one of our candles, you actually get a candle card in each box, and it explains how to burn it properly, because candles have a memory of their first burn. So if you don't burn it properly the first time, you cut your burn hours down drastically, and it doesn't look as pretty as it should. And it also explains that if the flame gets smaller, what you need to do is take a bit of a tissue paper and just break off a tiny amount of the top of the wick, because then the wood can suck up more wax again and the flame will return. But yeah, I love them. The crackling, you said bath, have a bath with just the candles and the light and the crackling. It's very soothing, I feel. So
Be something really good for a mindset, just to reset and all that. I loved what you just said about the wick. I don't think I know, I didn't know that about candles. And when you buy there's some candles that they're at a higher price point, and when you look at the candle and you're like, I have all this wax but no more wick, and there goes the candle. Or if you lose the wick, because I think that's why I don't burn candles, to be honest. So that is a really good piece of advice, that your candles not only do explain it, because I know I need explaining for that kind of thing, but that you're actually thinking of the consumer to have a long lasting burning candle. That's incredible.
thank you. Yeah, our small 6-ounce burns for 60 hours, which is on average about 3 times longer than a paraffin candle. So,
wow, good for you. That's incredible. Well, I feel like that, just for me anyway, that's what changed my idea of a candle. It's like, oh, I'm not really into, I remember I was like, I don't know about candles. And you explained that to me. I was like, oh, okay, that's why I don't like candles.
And
they never burn.
No, and you can't lose the wooden wick because it's always sticking up straight. I have a wick clip. Also, another thing about ours is that because it's pure soy, you can put the container in the freezer at the end when there's just like a tiny amount left, pop the clip out, and then put it in the dishwasher. And I've had customers use them my husband actually plants little baby plants in our leftover jars.
Oh my gosh.
Makeup like I've had someone put their makeup brushes or their car keys, like all sorts of people telling me, oh, I used my jar for this. And so yeah, you can reuse it too. But
that's amazing, because it's a candle that burns forever, but then when it's done, you still have something you can use, like you said, jewelry or anything. I love that, because I've seen candles and it says like burn for 60 hours, and I'm like, this burned for like 3. So that's huge that your candles do that. So so I'm hoping whoever gets it, they're gonna love it. So I love that.
I hope so too. Hopefully we raise lots of money for it. It's a very important organization. So
I agree. Well, thank you so much. I do have some rapid fire questions to ask. Before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story, for being vulnerable, for meeting me that day, and you brought me into my life. You really are a pretty amazing and incredible human, and I'm so glad that you're sharing your talents with the world, and that you could be here today to just give people hope and drive that they can do anything they put their mind to, and no matter what your circumstances are, you can get out of that and you can be very successful, and if not only in business but in love and life. So I really thank you, Chantelle.
Thank you. That really touches me, and I'm just honored that you asked. Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you. So to leave on a happy high note, everyone's crying. You mentioned you play board games. So what's your favorite board game to play?
Right now, we're really big into Monopoly and Candyland.
Oh my gosh, Candyland. That's a real game. It's not just like a full house game.
No, it's a real game. We have the Willy Wonka version, so you have to like get to the elevator at the end.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Have you had that for a while?
No, that one's new. We had the original one, but again, like, our kids were smaller, so we'd play it and then they'd rip the board game or like go missing. And so now I'm like, now you're at the age where these games are important. I'm gonna play them with my grandchildren, like keep them good, So no, then this one's newer. But we've been playing it every day since we got it. So it's a fun one and easy.
That would be a good Christmas gift for kids, especially right now, being at home all the time. Watch the movie, play the game.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And do you have an at-home workout that you do? Do your kids play workout?
My oldest daughter tries to get me to work out, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like 3 squats in. I'm like, I'll watch you. So I'm motivated in other ways, but at home workout is not one of them.
Oh, lovely. And what do you do? What are those motivations that you go out in nature or you
I
ride a bike?
I go to the gym, and it's changed now, so I don't know if when I'll be going back. But I did go for a while there after they reopened, and it's just
Nice.
therapeutic for me. Like I just get in my own head, and they yell at you what to do, and you just do it, and you go home feeling good.
Love
So
it.
yeah.
Well, it looks like your daughter might be your personal trainer for a while.
Oh, yeah, she's in, or she was in cheerleading until they shut down now. But that kid is so motivated in everything she does. So
Oh, like her mama. She's gonna be like yelling at you and you'll be like, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
that actually would probably work better, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you might have to be not so nice to me.
I
I'm
just
your
feel like
mom.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
Get a cookie at the end, and good.
And you said you have a daughter. So do you have like a favorite Disney princess or animal?
Mm, yeah, I've always liked Snow White, just because people used to call me Snow White when I was little.
Aw,
I Yeah, I don't know. We love all the Disney movies. All three of my kids. They're like, you never pick just one, but I'm like, I don't have a favorite. I don't know. I love them. So yeah, we watch
I
a
love
lot
it.
of movies.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of movie watching over Christmas break with kids, the 2 weeks off. So good to, get their Disney movies in then.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I literally just got cable for 1 month for the Christmas movie.
That is awesome. I love that. And do you have a favorite book?
I love books. I love books from like business to right now I'm reading the Billion Dollar Whale, I think it is. The Whale of Wall Street. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I just love Bryce Courtney is one of my favorite authors. But I don't have my favorite book, I would say.
Well, since you're an entrepreneur and you have all this drive, is there one book that really stuck out to you? Like for me, one of my books that really like changed my mindset and really kind of, about 6 years ago, just was You Are a Badass.
Yes, I love that.
Uh, I was like life changing. Is there a book like that that you just?
No, I would say that book. Like
Isn't that amazing?
it's such a good book. Yeah, I've bought it for other people. Like it's a very good book, and just setting into place like this is what I deserve. I don't have to have it right now, but like every step I'm taking is getting me to that level. And yeah, I think that was a really awesome book.
Yeah, I found that book, not only was it like talk to business and empowerment, and it talked just about, yeah, like owning yourself, knowing your worth. I finished that book actually in a hammock in Australia randomly that I went with my girlfriends. It all sounds so glamorous, but my girlfriend is a flight attendant. She took me to uh, to Australia for $150 round trip. It was incredible. We went for 6 days,
Oh my
five,
god.
6 nights, 7 days round trip, and I brought that book. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because when I finished that book, I was like literally living this. Like the book
Yeah.
was saying what I was in that moment living. Like just you are in control. You can get what you want, and you can get what you deserve. You just have to believe it.
Yeah.
And I love that that's one of your favorite books. It's one of mine. And you are living proof that what you want, you get. And it's just so beautiful and inspiring. And we all need that right now. So thank you so much
You.
for sharing your story. You're just awesome.
Oh, thank you. I think the same of you. So I'm very grateful we met that day.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Chantelle. So we'll see you soon. Thank you for everything today.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.